Have you ever felt like you're just stuck trying to learn English? Well, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to dive into a modern method that completely blows old school textbooks out of the water. It can get you to fluency way faster than you ever thought possible. Let's jump right in. First, I want to start with just one number, 3,000. That's it. That's how many words you actually need to know to understand a whopping 95% of everyday spoken English. Seriously, when you think about it that way, fluency suddenly feels a whole lot closer, doesn't it? And yet, I know, for so many of us, it just doesn't feel that easy. If you've spent countless hours staring at vocabulary lists or sitting in classrooms and you still feel like you're not getting anywhere, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common frustration. But here's the thought. What if the problem isn't you? See, this is the whole secret right here. Your effort has never been the issue. The problem is the method. These traditional ways of learning are often slow, kind of boring, and honestly, they just don't work with how our brains are naturally wired to learn a language. So that brings us to the solution, to the key that really unlocks natural language learning. It's a concept called comprehensible input. Now, this is the big idea we're going to unpack, and I promise it's going to change the way you think about learning English for good. This single idea is pretty much the foundation for everything. Think about it. We don't learn a language by trying to memorize a bunch of grammar rules that don't make sense. No, we acquire it. We pick it up naturally when we get messages that we can actually comprehend. That's a huge shift in thinking. Okay, so what in the world is comprehensible input? Well, put simply, it's any bit of language that you can understand because of the context around it. It's about using visuals, actions, and repetition to figure out what something means, even if you don't know every single word. Your brain is brilliant at filling in the gaps. Now, theory is one thing, but this concept really clicks when you see how it works. So let's look at a couple of super quick, really clear examples. Okay, just picture this. Someone points and says, "This is a door. I am opening the door," while they actually do it, right? Even if you've never heard the word opening before, the action makes the meaning totally obvious. You're not translating in your head, you're just understanding directly. Or how about this one? This is the power of context, right here. You see two patches of grass, side by side. Your brain immediately connects taller and shorter to what you're seeing. You didn't need a dictionary. That's your brain learning naturally, just by observing and comparing. So let's just put the two approaches side by side. On one hand, you've got traditional learning. Memorizing endless lists of words and studying complicated grammar rules. And on the other hand, you have comprehensible input, where you just absorb words and grammar naturally through context. The same way you learned your very first language. And the benefits here are just huge. You're not just practicing one little thing at a time. You're building all of your skills at once. You're learning vocabulary, you're improving your pronunciation, you're boosting your listening, understanding grammar without even trying, and this is the big one. You finally start thinking in English. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I start doing this, like right now? Well, I've got a simple but incredibly effective first step you can literally take today. Just think about it for a second. The things you do every single day, the objects in your home, you're already an expert on them. When you describe what you're doing, you automatically have all the context you need. This totally removes that mental step of trying to translate from your native language. You just focus on speaking English directly. And you can weave this into your whole day. In the morning, maybe you just say to yourself, "I am brushing my teeth." In the afternoon, "I am preparing my lunch." And in the evening, "I am reading a book." Yeah, they're simple sentences, but they're repetitive, they're full of context, and they're connected to your real life. All right, now if you're ready to really take this to the next level, you can build a whole learning system around this idea using modern tools. Let's walk through a simple, three-step framework that can seriously supercharge your progress. The system is easy to remember. It's just 3 phases: watch, reinforce, and remember. Each step builds on the one before it to create this really powerful learning loop that's not only effective, but it's actually fun. First up, step 1, watch. This is all about just absorbing the language. The goal is to find videos that are specifically designed for this method, where the pictures and the context make everything easy to understand. Your job here isn't to study. It's just to watch, listen, and let your brain soak it all up. Next, step 2, reinforce. This is where you really strengthen what you've learned. So after watching a video, maybe you noticed a few new words. This is where you can use an AI tool like ChatGPT and ask for definitions or say, hey, can you use this word in 5 different sentences? You can even ask it to make a quick quiz for you to make sure you've really got it. And the final step, now this one's optional, but it is so effective, is to make sure you remember those new words long term. You can use something called spaced repetition software, or SRS, like Anki. It's basically a super smart flashcard system that knows the exact moment you're about to forget a word and then bam, it shows it to you, locking it into your long-term memory. So, when you pull all of this together, what does it actually mean for you, for your journey to becoming truly fluent in English? Well, for starters, it means a massive jump in how efficient your learning is. Some studies have shown that learning this way can be up to 4 times more effective than traditional classroom teaching. Just think about that for a second. A single 15-minute video could give you the same benefit as an entire hour in a class. That is a complete game changer. But really, if you take away just one thing today, I hope it's this. It's all about a fundamental mindset shift. You need to stop thinking of English as this difficult subject that you have to study and start seeing it as a natural skill you get to acquire just by having fun and understandable experiences. So, let's end with a question to get you going. You've got a simple, practical technique that you can use right now, so just think about your daily routine. What part of your day will you narrate first? Making your coffee? Your commute? Whatever you pick, that's it. That's your first real step on this brand new path to fluency.